Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwards Biker Magazine. It's February. I got mission number 96 that I'm going to go over with you about. Hang tight. Alright guys, welcome back. As I said, mission number 96. And a lot of deliveries went out kind of early on this, which was pretty cool. And just like every month, we received some emails, asking us our opinion. What do we think about this? What do we think about that? And with those emails also came some people that weren't very happy with the box. And, I contacted two of them. Personally, I did. And did a little email exchange with them to ask, what the problem was. Because we try to get a feel for this, especially since we sit out here and this is the box that we've endorsed. And I've been asked that question as well. How many companies do we endorse? Not very many. And we don't endorse them because they give us money. That's not the part of the program. I hope that changes someday, but right now that's just not the way it is. But I don't mind, because if there's a company that really has some gas in the tank and we want you to know who they are, then we will endorse them both here and in the magazine. So BattlBox is one of them, and the reason is because we have found out over the years that you get more bang for your buck with BattlBox than you do any other subscription box of its kind, and the gear that's inside of this is applicable to several different disciplines or several different genres, whether you are a survivalist, if you're a backpacker, or you are just a general outdoorsman, if you're a prepper, whatever. There's always something in here that will cover at least one, if not all of those areas. And this happens to be one of those boxes that I would say has several different disciplines that it touches. So let me get on with it. All right, so as always, BattlBox has 4 tiers. The basic box is $34.99. The advanced box is $64.99. The Pro box is $119.99, and the Pro Plus is $164.99. So let's get right in here because the basic box this month is pretty cool. Got some really good stuff in this one here. So the first item up is from Fisher, and this is Fisher Space Pen. And I've used these quite a bit. And I thought it was, pretty cool that BattlBox would put this in their basic box. This is one of those pens that will write anywhere at any time, even underwater. Most of us will never ever use it in space, but it can be used in space also because it's gas charged. That's why it can write in any way, shape, or form. I like to pair these with a Write in the Rain notebook that I carry with me all the time when I'm out. Even if it's just, for a few hours while I'm walking around. I like to draw pictures sometimes of what I see, or just take notes. Or if it's a survival situation, you might need to write a note and put it down. And the Write in the Rain notebooks, that's what you want to have. You can write with pencils on it. There's special pencils for it, ink pens. But this guy here will always write anywhere at any time. And it's a great ad. It's a clicker. And this one comes in a special OD green. I think they just started making this not too long ago. But it retails for $36. Now you got to remember, always keep this in mind. I tell you this, that your basic box costs you $34.99. So already you have surpassed your investment. And you still got 2 items that are pretty cool that's in there. All right, so that's the Space Pen. And then the second item is from My Medic, and you know how we feel about My Medic. And these happen to be game changers, right? These are called the Z-Zip wound closure kit, and I'm not going to take them out of their individual packages, but there are 2 of them in here. And what these are designed to do is take a temporary replacement for stitches, for sutures. I don't know if I've ever said it here on the channel here, but I have mentioned it in several of my videos concerning field medicine. The only time, matter of fact, I'll just tell you this. there's no reason for a bushcrafter to carry out a suture kit into the bush. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you, because A, you really have to be trained, and if you're trained, you know that sutures are for pulling the wound together to make sure that it doesn't get a bunch of funk in it, you know, get nasty, and it heals up. So it's not it ends up being a permanent solution to something you don't want to be permanent. If you get cut that much out in the bush, you want to pack it, you want to stop the bleeding, you want to put it all together so you can get to a facility and they'll decide whether or not to put stitches on it. But these, on the other hand, are a great alternative to a temporary suture. Adhesive goes on one side of the wound and you pull it down, and then you put the other one on the other side of the wound, and these zips just bring the wound together. It's really a great add to have in your med kit, whether it is an IFAC kit or, you know, a base camp kit. I really like these, and I think that every one of my personal kits has at least one or two of these in there, you know, just for that reason. They give this a price of $14.95. We'll just call that, well, no, we're going to leave it just like it is. Curran has not been putting prices in here, so we have to do our homework to be able to do this. All right, the last item in here is the UltiClip 3 Plus. And if you've never used these, whoa, wait, okay, I'll say that in a minute. If you've never used these are a friction fit clip that is kind of pretty much universal. I've never come across anything where I couldn't use these. And once you put this on your belt or on your pack, man, it ain't coming loose. It just will not come loose. So I really like these. You get some screws with it, and you also get the grommets, the rubber grommets that will go up against your equipment, your gear, whatever you're using. But again, it's not going to come apart. I've seen these used with knives, sidearms. Basically, those are the two things that I've seen them used with. And, you know, either one, when you're yanking it out of your pocket or you're taking it out of its holster or whatever, you don't want that holster to move. You don't want your sheath to move. This will help you do that. So they give this a price of $12.99. And by the way, these are real prices. We went out on the different websites and we picked all the prices here. So you're invested at $34.99. This has a value of $65.90. That is why I say they're a great bang for the buck. All right, let's move on to the Advanced Box. And the Advanced Box, which you paid $64.99 for, has got the Climate Everglow Light Tube. And I think these are pretty neat. And this is one of those items that I would say, for me, just for me, I'm not going to carry this out into the wilderness or into the woods unless I am setting up a base camp. You know, it is the extra large version, and I believe it's about 32 inches. Don't quote me on that, but what you do is you blow these up. Yeah, opens this up like so. Pull this out here, and I know there's people's going to blow this up in one hack. I'm not that guy, okay? Now, Danny said I should be able to, I'm so full of hot air that I should be able to blow this up with one puff. Forget it. But these are really cool because of the simple fact that you have got instant light and it'll hang anywhere. It's got some magnetic bases that you can put it on a magnet. This will be good for, as I said, a base camp, but also for your disaster preparedness kit that you have at home. And that might be where this goes. And the reason I say that is that I push back a lot of time when somebody tries to get us to review something for the magazine that requires a separate power source to run them. And that's what this is. This is designed to run off of a USB power, whether it's, you know, a small little battery pack, little cube, you know, or you can put it in on your laptop USB port. It'll run this. But if you are in a home situation where having to charge those up is not an issue with you, I think that'd be a great thing to use. That's why I say emergency preparedness kit. If your lights go down and you always have to maintain those battery packs. If you're going to have them, you got to maintain them, you know, by keeping them charged all the time. And if you got that, lights go out, and you've got 2 or 3 of these battery packs, this will light up a room very, very efficiently. If you're going to use it inside of a base camp, then you know, you're not going to have a problem hanging it up inside your shelter. You know, somebody asked me if I would recommend this in a hammock. It would work, but you know, first of all, the physical size of it in a hammock is going to be a little cumbersome from my perspective. You know, and there's better sources, you know, to be able to use illumination inside of a hammock. But if you have a tent, a teepee or whatever, bingo, these things will light up your world. And just as easily as they are inflated, this is all you do is you open it up and just roll it down, and the air's coming right out of it. There you go. And it's as flat as it can be. I like to screw those down so the air doesn't come back in them. And then I'm not so much a guy that likes to roll these up like that because the little fiber wires that they use in there can break. So I just give them a soft loop. But that's it right there, you know. And to me, that is a great ad. And again, this would be a perfect example of having different genres that it covers. Preppers. Nice for your prep kit. For those that are worried about natural disasters, home preparedness, bingo. I really like it for that. So for me, this is a great ad. They give it a value of $44.99. But again, you know, when we're doing the research, we research not only the company site to see what the retail value is on that, but then we like to go out to Amazon, and when we did the research for this particular box a few days ago, Amazon had this very light for $29.09 or $29 even. But for the sake of BattlBox, it's $44.99. Climate site is $44.99. You go look at BattlBox, $44.99. So that's what we're calling it. And you know, that's kind of a little bit on the high side, but it does the job, and it comes in the advanced box. And when you take the advanced box with the gear that was in the basic box, you have a value of $110.89, and all you paid was $64.99. Great buy. Next one is the Pro Box, and we've been asked about this item several times. We've had a couple of them. I think Zippo may have sent them to us to try out. And this is the Zippo Axe Saw. It is a combination axe and a saw. And, you know, we didn't take this apart because we've seen these before, you know. But it has a little gnarled keeper here. Okay, I think we can open this first here. Give it a little action. It should just open right up. This one's never been opened up before, so it's giving me a little bit of a problem here. But we make sure that we keep problem solver. There we go. I'll just set that right there until I get this out, and then I'm going to put this back away so I don't lose fingers while I'm grabbing stuff. Okay? Now let me tell you a little bit about our experience with this. This is one of those items, again, that I'm going to tell you right up, I am not going to put this in my pack and hump it out into the bush. That's just not me. If I want an axe, I've got plenty of axes. I've got plenty of saws that for me work better for me. But as far as doing the job, this little guy is a beast when it comes to chopping. You know, and it reminded me of a Viking style blade, but it's got great weight to it. Let me see, the steel on this is 420 stainless steel. The handle is a durable polymer, and you can use the pummel on this thing to drive tent stakes or to crush or whatever. We tried to break it, and it didn't. You know, it broke us. Chop down small trees, and you know the size of the blade here, you could really chop down some pretty good sized trees with this. But I mean, you know, it's going to take you a little while, but it does the job. And then whenever you consider that you put the saw blade in it, and now you've got yourself a very handy dandy saw, you know, that takes everything to another level. Just stick this in here like that. You stick your blade in here like this. Put that back in like that. You screw this down like so. And then this is how the blade goes in for your saw. And it's just friction fit. And once you've got that, now you're sawing. I'm not going to take off this guard here. Now you're sawing, and it does a very, very good job. You know, I won't tell you that it's the best saw I've ever used, but it does a good job, and you can do up to probably 6-inch logs with this, right? You know, kind of buck down your firewood for the night. As I said, I wouldn't take this out, but to me, this is a great option to have in your vehicle. You know, your emergency e-bag, especially in the wintertime. This may come in handy for you. And another one, I'll just tell you, it doesn't hurt to have this type of an option in your emergency preparedness kit at home. So I'm digging this being in here. This is great for this month. They give this a value of $99.95 on their website. And this is another item that we found out that we could get it for $68.25. So, you know, that doesn't bother me. You got to go with the retail because not everybody's going to have them on sale when you do that. But for me, this is a great ad for mission number 96. And I believe someone was telling me, I think mission number 20, I was reading it in here. Yeah, mission number 20. So this is the second time that BattlBox has offered this to their subscribers. It's a great ad. Again, they give us a value of $99.95, and the combination of all three boxes together, you're in this for $119.99 as the advanced box, and it comes out to $210.84. Already, you're $100. We're just rounding it up. You're $100 ahead of the game already. Now we're going to go to the Pro Plus box, which is the knife of the month. And this month, it is the Taurus Torero, right? Now, for those of you that are wondering if Taurus makes knives, the answer is no. Taurus did not make this knife, but one of our good companies, favorite companies that we've seen some really dope folders from, Fox Edge is who makes this knife, right? This comes in a really nice leather sheath. You can carry it scout carry. You can put it on your belt. And if you're a little handy dandy, you can actually fix up a dangler with some paracord if you would like to do that. But there is no lashing holes down here, which, you know, kind of detracts from that option. But now, remember what I told you about sheaths? You don't buy a knife because it's the sheath. You buy the knife because of the knife. And I got to tell you, this knife from Taurus is a winner as far as we're concerned. The overall length on it is 9 1/4 inches, and the blade itself length is 4 inches. I think it's a little bit bigger than 4 inches. I don't have a tape measure down here. It's got a satin finish on the blade, and It's full tang, obviously. I like an exposed tang, but it doesn't have one. And the reason I say that, if you want to crush anything with a, this would be considered a flush tang. You've got these G10 scales, and there's nothing wrong with G10, man. They'll last you a lifetime. But if you are crushing anything and you come across a rock or something like that, you know, it's not only going to, you know, affect the exposed pummel itself, or excuse me, the pummel, but you're gonna mar your G10. If you do it a lot, you know, your scales are gonna mushroom out a little bit, and you have to take some sandpaper. You know, not that that's a detractor, because I think the knife, for what it is and what it does, the shape of it is great for the hand. It's a great bushcrafting knife. You know, I've had many knives that I've taken out to skin with that this looks just like some of them, and I mean, I really like it. This has got a 90-degree spine. It's got some nice jimping on the top here, but it feels good in the hand. There's not going to be any fatigue going on with this, and it's rugged enough, D2 steel. And I know there are those that are out there that have always griped about D2 steel. You know, in the beginning, D2 was very brittle, and it was made for tools. Right? It wasn't made for making knives, you know, and being all thinned down like that. So we did see some chipping and some D2 early on, even some breakage. But nowadays, they've worked out the bugs in D2, and D2 is a very fine steel. Once you get that edge on there, that edge is going to last. Now, let's do the scientific test for sharpness. Look at that, yeah. Yeah, Fox Edge. This is a Taurus. Fox has made this for Taurus. Man, that is a nice knife right there. So that's your knife of the month. Sexy, man. I love those profiles. And so I've got another blade that we're going to be talking about today in another video. We're doing a video on tactical knives. But this is really sharp, man. It's cool. And the sheath, nice sheath. I really like the sheath. You know, they've actually got double welting in there, so it's not going to come through. You know, some of the knives that we've seen from some companies, the knife poked right through. But again, you don't buy a knife because of the sheath. You know, sheath just an extra bonus if you do. But that's it right there. Now, you got into this box for $169.99, and altogether, all 4 boxes, their total comes out to $310.79. You know, it doesn't take a mathematician to figure that out. You know, I mean, all the time, you almost double your money. All the time. You know, it's real close. So, you know, I'm very happy with mission number 96. And I think once you get it in your hands and you start dealing with some of the stuff in there, it's going to be good. Hold on here. I also want to make mention of this. I don't know if this was a mistake or not, but everybody's going to get at least 20% off for the space pen. And, you know, as I said, the retail on those were, you know, I mean, $36. Yeah, so you're going to get 20%, all right? $7.20, something like that. You're going to get off. Take you around 29 something for the pen. That's a great buy. And again, you know, I got 2 of them. I promise you those will be used. You have to factor that into your investment. You know, how much more are you getting back? So yeah, that's good. Man, that's awesome. So before I get out of here, look up here. You see that? Okay, that is the winter 22-23 edition of Backwoods Biker Magazine. Got some good stuff in here. And we're getting ready to transition over to Wood Tramp Outdoors. It's going to be a good magazine as well. I think it's going to be better than Backwoods Biker, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, this magazine should be dropping close to the same time that this drops. We got a few articles that we're buttoning up, had to add some information. But, I mean, we got Larry Roberts from Alone Season 2, spent time with Larry. Got to know him a little bit, and it was a neat interview. And then, of course, in here, in this magazine, is BattlBox in review for 2022. We're going to talk about what we felt about 2022 overall. And also, you know, look at there, knife of the month, the LT Wright Illuminous 5. If you've not ever seen that knife, man, it's a beast. And we went through 32 knives last year, and that made the top 5. And then it was voted. You know, we actually do a numbering system, and it came out on top. You know, I think that's the second time, maybe even the third time that LT Wright had one of his knives that was knife of the year. No, 2 times. The other one was the Genesis Scandi. Just an awesome knife. So anyway, BattlBox mission number 96. Thank you for those emails, you know, and I hope I was able to explain, you know, our viewpoint on, you know, gear boxes that are like this. You know, there's something for everybody in this. Whatever your genre is, whatever your discipline is, there's something in here for you. So thanks for the questions. Thanks for your support with everything that we do and your kind emails. Appreciate it. You know, I don't answer calls. You know, I just can't do that. You know, I don't fill them. So, till next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out.